So before we start, no, this isn't a JoJo video. This channel has not and will not be purely JoJo videos, and if you don't like that, you can unsubscribe. So with that out of the way, let's get to the real point of this video, which is about ReZero, the most recent love it or hate it anime out there right now. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. And I'm coming at you with an opinion that a lot of people are probably not gonna like me for. And fuck it, I don't give a shit, because I used to be a Rem fag as well. Let's get that out there. I used to be all on that Rem. And Rem's cute and she's a great character, but she isn't the correct choice for Subaru, not only like logically, but narratively. And if you want to see the narratively parts, I'll have a few videos in here, one of them by Subsonic Sparkle, who handles this way better. He has a more in-depth analysis of the series in general, and not just what I'm about to talk about. Then there's also Pause and Select in his video on ReZero, and those two go way more into depth about ReZero in a whole. But I want to go into depth on why Subaru decides he is in love with Amelia and not Rem.
Oh shit!
And this plays into a few scenes throughout the whole series, but also Subaru as a character in a whole. Well, you see, Subaru, when we get to him in the anime and in the light novels, he is about 17. He is a NEET or a Hikikomori, depending on which version you watch. I believe in the light novels, in the web novels, he's a NEET, and in the anime, he refers to himself as a Hikikomori. There's not a big difference between them, just Hikikomori is more insulting. But he's 17, he's not in education, he's graduated, I assume, and he's completely socially inept. Subaru, in his lifespan, has probably had some social developmental issues. Looking at it from Erik Erikson's theory of psychosocial development, which is kind of the name says, it's the development of someone's social ability, which I feel that Subaru has reached the next stage in his development, but he has failed achieving the goals of the developmental cycle. What Erikson theory presents is specific thing versus thing, and if you do not pass this, you'll face trouble in your future developing other skills. Like early on, you need to have trust, or else you're going to have trust issues because you don't trust your parents. You're not going to trust anyone. It's the development of one's psychosocial abilities, and I feel that Subaru reached his industry versus inferiority and did not develop the skills he felt he needed to survive in the industry. That's why he becomes a NEET. That's why he becomes a Hikikomori. He doesn't feel he has the skills to provide for this world, and that's why he gets so excited when he gets dropped into a new world, because he's like, I can finally start over. I wasted most of my life doing all that shit. I have a chance to be something important. And that almost instantly pushes him to the next stage, which is identity versus role confusion, where you try to find your own place in the world. You want to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, then you're stuck. You have no idea where to go. And that also plays into his Hikikomori status as well. He's stuck in between these two, where Subaru is stuck between, the age demographics are prone to vary. Erikson's theory is old. It was a theory developed in the 50s and it has been improved upon. I'm using this version of it as an easier example to explain to you guys. But around identity versus role confusion, you have Subaru trying to find his place in this new world, because his place in the old world he had already given up completely on. And that's when he discovers Amelia, this fantasy girl of his dreams, his waifu, he loves her unconditionally right away because she's sweet, she's kind, and she has all these like front-forward features that he wants in a lover. But the reason that he sticks with her and doesn't just switch to Rem, who hold a lot of these same strengths in even more. Rem is more of a crutch for Subaru than anything, because she loves him unconditionally, loves him no matter what. That's what unconditionally means. I don't know why I said that twice. She is strong. She can defend herself. She has no problems that Subaru wants. She is the norm. She would not bring him any advancement in his life. She is a very simple, great character. I love Rem. I used to be a Rem fag myself until I realized that Krush was the best girl. Fucking come at me. She's the best. You can't beat that. But getting back on point, Amelia not only holds these characteristics that Subaru wants, but she is her own person as well, which is really appealing to Subaru, because he is in this this role confusion. He doesn't know what he is. He wants to find himself, and through himself he finds Amelia. When he's able to be the most open and honest about himself, he's able to actively flirt with her. She completes him in a way and gives him an identity, and that is an issue for him because of his lack of social ability that leads him to think that he is the only person for her, and that's why he considers himself her knight. That's why he completely embarrasses her. He never takes her opinion into the matter. For Subaru, Amelia is the step to self and betterment. Amelia helps Subaru become himself, where Rem helps Subaru live and grow and enjoy recovery, but she isn't someone who would make Subaru grow as a person. She's already perfect in her own right. She's a little bit too perfect. I mean, honestly, a lot of people really like Rem because she's the only girl who gets enough screen time in comparison, because all the other people are off screen or get very little screen time in comparison to her, so it's not really a shocker that Rem's the most popular. But that's just me saying that. I mean, no hate on Rem. I like Rem too. But Rem isn't a character who would help Subaru grow. And this is about Subaru, and it's not about any of the other characters. Amelia actually forces Subaru to grow in many different ways, even in bad ways as well, like with him making an ass out of himself, but also in good ways when he strives to unite multiple nations together so they can go and defeat one of the most legendary creatures in the entire universe, and that way that they can gather up another group of armies so they can go hunt down a cult of people who worship witches so he can make sure that Amelia is safe. Wow, he does a lot. Why don't people like Subaru? Yeah, fuck it. I don't fucking know. Though I'd also like to bring up something else before someone else does in the comment section below. And yes, Rem does indeed help Subaru grow as a person as well. But what she does is she elevates Subaru to an equal level as everyone else. When that confession scene happens and Subaru finally decides that he is going to gather everyone up, or he was going to quit originally, but Rem convinces him that he is worth it and gives him an identity. Now that is exactly what I was saying that Amelia does, but what Rem does, she gives him the identity of himself, which gets him past the point where he was stuck on, which was industry versus inferiority, because he found himself inferior to everything. He was completely stagnant. He is now on an equal level as everyone else in the series as a whole, where he's now finding his own personal identity and role in the world, where he will then move on to hopefully find intimacy in this future life with Amelia that he wants to create, which is the next step of Eric's theory if you didn't know. Just saying. Subaru's good. He'd also be remiss not to mention all the great scenes of romantic development between Subaru and Amelia, where you have this scene where Subaru wants to ask her out on a date, and he does it in the most Japanese way possible by asking her if the moon looks nice tonight. Or when Subaru and Amelia save a lost child together and they return it to the guy who owns the Apple store. Or even the scene where Amelia allows Subaru to finally actually open up to her as he lays in her lap and cries his eyes out and passes out. Or, you know, their first scene. The first scene that ends the first episode, where Subaru grasps her hand, engulfed in light, the only light in the darkness, the only light in his life, and swears that he'll save Amelia. And that should have been key to you people at the beginning, that this is Amelia's story, and that he was never going to get with Rem. Rem isn't the character to help him in this scenario. Amelia is, and Amelia was always going to be. Now, if you did like this video, which I assume there are some who really didn't, but if you did like this video, please feel free to give it a like. Comment down below, tell me I'm dumb, tell me why Krush isn't the best girl, because I'll tell you right now, it's not a thing. You can't prove it to me. It's impossible. Literally impossible. And then, have a nice day. Also, don't forget to pre-order Shimonetta, A Boring World Where the Concept of Dirty Jokes Doesn't Exist, coming out November 29th on Funimation.com/Shimonetta. Pre-order now and get fucking nothing, because I'm not being paid to do this. Just go do it for me, please.